So just when I thought that I couldn't get any more revelation on September 23rd, 923, I get some more. And it's big. It's really big. And it's so beautiful because it fits perfectly with what I've been saying this whole time and in the Bible and everything. So we start in 2017 on 923, September 23rd. You have the great wonder in heaven sign in Revelation chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Which was the woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and the crown on her head with 12 stars. This happened in 2017 in the heavens on 923, September 23rd. Okay, that's major, major sign. That was a 12-year marker to 2029. Okay, that's why it's in Revelation chapter 12. Okay, we got these 12s here. Now, from that 923 in 2017, the great wonder in heaven, to the Feast of Trumpets, which is also on 923, but only in 2025. See how these two 923s are connected right now? Okay. To the Feast of Trumpets in 923, you have a day count from those two dates, which is about 7 to 8 years, of 2,922 days. So from 923 in 2017 to 923 in 2025, which is two major dates, you have 2,922 days. So what I did is I looked up the number 2922 in the Greek, the New Testament Greek, and the definition that came up for that under 2922 in the Greek is lamb, and also covered for protection and lamb. So right there we have symbology of glorification, being covered for protection and lamb. And that is the date count between these two 923 dates. Now the other amazing thing about that connection is that the great wonder in heaven sign that the Feast of Trumpets is connected to in 2025 is a picture of glorification. The woman clothed with the sun, okay? So this was amazing to me. I put this in another one of my videos. This was amazing to me, okay? There's a clear connection right there with glorification and rapture. Even with the great wonder in heaven sign, everything pointing to it, connecting these two 923s. Now, what I did not do, I stopped there because I was so blown away. I did not look up that number in the Hebrew, only in the Greek, 2922. The day count between these two dates, 923 in 2017 and 923 in 2025. Now, when I looked up the Hebrew today, I said, oh my goodness, can this really be what I'm looking at? And lo and behold, yes, it is actually what I'm looking at. What falls under the number 2922, not in the Greek, but in the Hebrew now, fits so phenomenally perfect that I couldn't even make this up any better. Okay? This is God's hand. And what it means, in short, is judgment in a court of law. Judgment. So we have symbology for a rapture, and also on that same day, judgment. And this is all too perfect. In Revelation chapter 12, the man-child is caught up. That is a picture of the church. And Michael and the angels kick the devil and the other angels out of heaven, and he falls to earth like lightning. We go up, he comes down. That fits both. Being covered for protection with the Lamb, that's glorification. And also the same number, but in the Hebrew, which is judgment, for the earth. Well, I mean, you couldn't even make something up that fit that perfect if you tried, man. And then I also showed you how when it talks about the beginning of the day of the Lord, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, it talks about basically the Revelation chapter 12 sign, which is a woman travailing in birth, pain to be delivered. And the Revelation 12 sign is connected to the Feast of Trumpets in 2025, which is the other 923. I mean, it's all too perfect. I have figured out through revelation by God when the rapture and the day of the Lord is. Nobody knows these things except for my videos, because I ain't never ever heard any of the people say this. Nothing even close, not even remarkably close to what I've been saying in my videos for the past few weeks now. Also matching up the fact that if you type in Feast of Trumpets in Gematria, it equals 923, September 23rd, in which 2025 is the only year that the Feast of Trumpets is on 923. All the other years, 15 years back, you can go, never lands on 923, except for 2025. I mean, how is that possible? And then you look up 923 in the concordance, and it means to glisten. To glisten white like marble or alabaster red. Again, another picture of glorification. And let's run through some other things, some 25 patterns. You go to Psalms chapter 2, verse 5, 25, you have, and God shall speak his wrath unto them. Well, when the devil gets kicked out of heaven, it's the wrath of the devil, it's the wrath of God on the earth, it's the wrath, period, for 42 months. Then if you go to Romans chapter 11, verse 25, you see the fullness of the Gentiles. Right there, telling you 25, fullness of the Gentiles. Then if you go to Genesis chapter 45, which is 20 plus 25, you see all after 2 years, after 2 years of famine, they eat. They're eating at their father's table. Get it? The father's table. Jesus said, the next time I talk to you guys, I'll be in my father's house. Well, he didn't mean on earth. He's talking about in heaven. And that is in 2025. We'll be eating at his table. And when that rapture happens, it will provoke the Jews to jealousy. Okay? Because they will know what happened. The world, the majority, a lot of people will know, especially the Jews, that that was the rapture that the Christians talked about. So it will provoke them to jealousy, just like prophecy said. And we will be eating in the Father's house. But in heaven, that's not on earth. There is no earthly tabernacle made for the Father's house for us to eat in, all of, billions of Gentiles. Okay, this is heaven. Then going back to the day count between the two 923s, okay, 2017, Great Wonder in Heaven, 923, and 2025, Feast of Trumpets, 923. Okay, the 2,922 days in between. Do you know what 2922 is? That is the beginning and the end of the last 7 years here, 22 to 29. This is the last Shemitah. This is the last 7 years. We're in the last 7 years right now. It's just started. So that's what that is also showing us. That's pretty amazing to me. And then, if you go to 2025 and flip it around, 2520, that is 7 years also. Exactly. Because a Hebrew year or a God year is 360 days, not 65. So 7 years is exactly 20 days, which is 2025 flipped around, showing us the 7 years again. I mean, it's all here in patterns and numbers and mysteries, and this is what Proverbs 25:2 means. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing. It is the honor of kings to search out a matter. And Amos 3, verse 7, that God will do nothing without revealing it to his prophets, his servants. So, I'm not going to say not a lot of people, almost nobody is going to get the information that you have heard on this channel. In fact, most of this information nobody has gotten. I have never heard any of these connections by any of these so-called watchmen out there, which, yeah, there's some decent guys out there, but they ain't getting this revelation like this. Okay? So you're blessed if you hear this. Look these things up yourself. Paul said, do not despise prophecy, but right after that he says, prove all things. I'm giving you things you can look up yourself. If you can live and make it to September 23rd, 2025, you will never die as a Christian. And always, 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 always remember that the Feast of Trumpets is known as the day that no man knows the day or hour. Because the reason is that to start the Feast of Trumpets, they would look for the new moon, and they had a 2-day window period. So it could have been on one of those 2 days. So no man knew the day or the hour. They would have to consistently look for it within this 2 day period. That is where that term comes from. It's called a Jewish idiom because I know that is the first thing that comes to people's minds, but they don't even know what that means. And I didn't know what that means until about a year or so or two ago. That is a very, very important piece to this puzzle, is that the Feast of Trumpets is known as the day that no man knows the day or hour. And that's interesting because when Jesus said that to the disciples, he literally told them when they were going to see him again, and it was the Feast of Trumpets. That's why we are changed at the last trump. The last trump is the 100th trumpet blast on the Feast of Trumpets, the last trump. All these terms are from Jewish culture, and there's 7 holy days, and we have no idea because all this information has been hidden from us.